I want to talk about how they're going to make this car go faster. I think it's going to be more than just horsepower. And one key thing that Tim Kuniskis said, he said that this car is destined for the record book. So I want to talk about the record they're going to be trying to break, which may signify exactly how fast this car is going to go. YouTube family, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And if you like car content, you're in the right place for all of that. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and lock it in for the long haul. And if you've already done that, I want to appreciate you for, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. But we will not hold you too long. Let's go ahead and get into the topic of today's video. You see the title and you see the thumbnail. So Dodge has released their last teaser video, and this one by far is the easiest one to figure out what they're trying to tell us. Quick summary of the video real quick. Our demon leprechaun has now arrived in Vegas. He took a helicopter in. He's still geeked up off of that E85, and he's in Vegas for St. Patrick's Day, all that type of stuff. He decides he wants to skydive into Vegas. He jumps out the helicopter. He looks at his little watch, his Apple Watch, whatever he's got, and it says 140 miles an hour. He has hit terminal velocity jumping out of the helicopter. But in him, he doesn't like that. He thinks that is slow, so he goes faster, and then his watch just flips through a whole bunch of numbers. And he just flies through Vegas. And looks like he breaks the sound barrier and all that type of stuff. I mean, this one's easy. Pretty much what they're telling us is that this car is going to be faster than the Demon. That's really all it is. The 140 miles an hour on the watch signifies the Demon's trap speed when it ran the 9.6 second quarter mile time. So all it's saying us, all Dodge is telling us, that this car is going to be faster than the Demon. I think we already knew that, right? That's what I'm saying. This one wasn't really earth-shattering or anything like that. No equations you had to figure out. Nothing like that. Nothing you had to go research. That's really pretty much all it is telling us in this particular video. But I do want to talk about in this video, I want to talk about how they're going to make this car go faster. I think it's going to be more than just horsepower. And one key thing that Tim Kuniskis said, he said that this car is destined for the record book. So I want to talk about the record they're going to be trying to break, which may signify exactly how fast this car is going to go, and how they're going to actually break that record. So let's really key in on exactly what Tim is talking about as far as this car is concerned, that it is destined for the record book. Pretty much, I think we can all assume with this car, since it's competing with the Demon, we're not really competing with the Demon, it's faster than the Demon, that it's going to be a drag car. I mean, that's really is Dodge's bread and butter, is making cars that are fast at the drag strip. So we can pretty much assume that this is going to be a drag focused car. So the next question is, like, what is the record for the fastest production car in the quarter mile? So the fastest production car, or the production car that has the fastest quarter mile time, is going to be this car called I'm gonna put a picture of it up here, the Rimac Nevera. It does the quarter mile in 8.5 seconds at 167 miles an hour. And this car is an EV. Now, an 8.5 second quarter mile time is pretty ridiculously fast for a production car. For EV car, I think it's easy to do in an EV car, but for a internal combustion engine car, I don't think that is going to be as easy to make this car a production car that is street legal but run that fast. So I doubt they're going to try to make this car faster than the EV. So now you're probably asking, what car has the fastest quarter mile for a car with an internal combustion engine? That would be the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport, quarter mile time of 9.1 seconds at 161 miles an hour. So with us knowing that the record would need to be faster than 9.1 seconds, we know that Dodge needs to aim for the car to run at least 9 seconds flat in the quarter mile. Of course, we know these cars are capable of doing. There's plenty of Dodge Chargers and Challengers out there running 9 seconds or better in the quarter mile. But how Dodge will actually do this? Now, we already know the horsepower. We got an idea of the engine and all that type of stuff. But when it comes to drag racing and getting down the track as fast as possible, horsepower is only a part of the equation. Hence why the Demon had the drag radials, the drag mode suspension, the ability, so it has that ability to transfer the weight to the rear tires to get it go down, the trans brake. All this stuff played a factor for the Demon to get that 9.6 second quarter mile time. Now, for this car that's coming out, the horsepower only is going to take it so far, right? So what else is Dodge actually going to do to this car to help propel it to get at least 9 seconds in the quarter mile? So another thing I want to talk about along those lines, like what else is Dodge is adding to this car to make it hit that at least a 9-second quarter mile? We have to remember, like, Dodge has entered in a couple of partnerships that they announced late last year when they were unveiling like the EV car and all that type of stuff, and all the last call models and stuff like that, when they have the first big announcement and stuff. The first thing, Dodge entered in a partnership with Speedkore. If you're not familiar with Speedkore, Speedkore is a company, they make carbon fiber body panels for these particular cars, and even some of the older model cars as well. So since Dodge has entered in that partnership with Speedkore, that makes their parts available in the direct connection catalog. They showed at that first big press conference that they had a complete carbon fiber, I think it was like a 69 Charger, and the whole thing, like I said, was carbon fiber, and all those parts came from direct connect, I mean via Speedkore, but you know, it's all a partnership now. So with that being available to Dodge, they could put carbon fiber panels on the car to help make the car lighter, right? That makes that horsepower go a much longer way than if they just slapped it into a car without stripping some of the weight. Now, they can't take away too much of the weight or strip away a lot of things, because the car still has to be street legal. So they can't strip away too many things from the car, because the car has to still be street legal. I mean, a drag pack, if you've seen one of those cars are completely stripped, is pretty much a drag focused race car at that point. It's not even street legal or whatnot, but to keep it street legal, they'll have to keep some of the things in the car, and carbon fiber panels could do the trick there. Now, the thing about carbon fiber panels, they are expensive. Since this car is going to be such a limited run, it may not matter at this point of how much this car is going to cost. They may be just throwing everything at it. And this is just really speculation. This thing's just, I mean, Dodge really does have a partnership with Speedkore, so that is on the table for them to use carbon fiber on this particular model. The other partnership Dodge has is through AAD suspension. Now, they, of course, I mean, the name says it all. They make suspension components for this platform of car. You really can't get a good quarter mile time unless your suspension helps you eliminate wheel hop and really just accelerate and get traction and stuff getting down the drag strip, right? So that is another thing that is available through direct connection because of their partnership that could also be on this car. Now, the suspension on these cars are pretty decent. I know they have like drag mode and things of that nature to help transfer their weight. Since they're going for a record here, they may want to try to switch out to something like that to help the car perform that much better than it did before. The Demon has special suspension. With that partnership, that is on the table for Dodge to put into this new car. Again, that could up the price of the car, but at this point, very limited. It's already going to be expensive, right? Most of us watching this video, most of us won't be able to get the car. But I mean, I'm a Dodge fan. I like to see the car, you know, do what it do. One last thing that Dodge may change out on this particular car. We know that the car comes with the, well, at least the Demon, the Super Stock. Those cars come with drag radials on them, made by Nitto, if I'm not mistaken. The thing about those tires, they're only limited to go 168 miles an hour. Now, they're talking running 8 seconds with this car. They're going to be running pretty close. Maybe they might be running pretty close to that 168 mile per hour. I mean, they may not get there to make it hit that 9-second mark without getting to the 160s. They could probably do it like 150 something or whatnot, but it is a possibility they could change out the tire to some different drag radials than they had before. But the caveat of that is, if they do go to a different drag radial, then it still has to be street legal, because it really wouldn't make it a record unless they can do that quarter mile pass with a street legal car. If they did full drag slicks on the car, it pretty much, you're not going to set a record that way. It pretty much makes it null and void, because you're putting tires on a car that are not street legal, and the record, it's not a record anymore, because anybody can do that. But the goal is to make it a street legal car that can do the quarter mile, and they could go to a different drag radial, maybe a smaller diameter wheel. I know a lot of people know the popular choice is like a 17-inch wheel with the drag radial on that. That is a possibility. So those are my final thoughts on the car before the reveal. It's going to get revealed Monday, so it's right around the corner, and I'm excited to see this car. I know everybody's going to talk about how the price and how no one's ever going to be able to afford one. I totally get that. No one's going to see them on the drag strip. I get that too. This pretty much is the collector items at this point. But I'm still excited, you know, for the brand and things like that. Hopefully, maybe I can get another hoodie that has all the emblems of all the cars on there now and whatnot. But I'm excited nonetheless. So we'll see what Dodge actually does. And maybe just a couple of other final predictions, a couple other thoughts I'm thinking about this car. I'm thinking still it might come in a gold rush color, maybe sublime green. Nope, that might be the only colors that it come in. Just because they keep using this green and this gold color constantly, right? Even the I just call him a demon leprechaun. Even him, he had like the yellow eyes or whatnot. So I'm leaning towards gold rush for this car. Maybe not, but that's the only color I'm thinking with this car. But let me know you guys' thoughts. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you on the next video. We're out. Cut it.